How to make 39,600 in 5 years with $0 invested without learning a new skill or spending time. Hey guys, this is Mike with MrNoFluff.com, and in this class, I'm going to show you how to make $39,000 plus almost $40,000 in 5 years without investing with no money, guys, and without learning a new skill. And you don't have to spend any extra time. So, without any further delay, let's get started, guys. Okay. So one thing I want to show you here is this little cool graph that I made. And basically in the expenses, I just want to show you like a basic cell phone. If you're one person and you have a cell phone, let's say with Sprint, and you have unlimited phone, text, and data. You know, I was paying $120 a month. It was actually a little bit more, like sometimes 130, depends, but roughly about $120 a month. Okay. And the next thing I want to show you is that if you have a car, your car fuel, okay, it's $360 a month roughly. Okay. Now, if you have a truck or SUV or a sports car or V8, that you're probably paying more. If you have a luxury car, we have to put Supreme, you're going to pay more than this. But I try to get an average of, because I've owned many cars, from the smart car to a Jeep to a truck to a SL 550, that was a gas guzzler. I had Jeeps that were very lifted, trucks that were very lifted. So I had a good idea, Honda Civics, Lexus. So I have a pretty good idea, okay? Um, what I did is I just averaged all my cars and I came with a 360, okay? So it's right in the middle. Um, and 360 a month. So that's roughly about, you could divide it into four and figure it out. And most people that I know, these are the home sellers that I bought their homes in foreclosure. Okay, these are their bills because I looked through them. So sometimes I had to do a short sell, or sometimes um, I just had to take over their payments through some type of creative financing that I teach you at MrNoFluff.com for free. Um, and I do have courses if you're interested. But anyways, most of these sellers that I talked to, they had a TV bill. Some of them had cable only, some of them had cable and satellite. Anyways, when you add it all up on a monthly basis, on an average, they were paying $180 a month for their TV. Okay, um, so now, and there's a lot of other stuff in there that I didn't put in here. What I just want to focus on are just these three right now. Okay, which is cell phone bill, car fuel, and just TV consumption. These are just consumption, okay? Now, many of you guys are business owners and you say, well, man, I need a cell phone. I'm going to show you how I did it. But just take a look at this real quick, guys. That when you add cell phone, car fuel, and TV consumption, you add it up, that's $660 a month, guys, okay? And if you do that times 60 months, which is 5 years, you're gonna get 39,600 bucks. So guys, if you weren't watching TV, if you didn't have a cell phone, and so on, you can see that how much money you would be saving. Now, some of you guys say, "Hey, I can't survive without a cell phone." Some of you guys say, "I got kids; they gotta watch TV." Blah 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 blah. Or I love watching TV; it's my relaxation time. I love my Netflix. I didn't even include that in there. Okay, but just to simplify it, guys, in just 5 years, I just want to show you just three bills that are consumer consumption based. If you just go away from that, that you can save all this money. I've gone away from all these three bills, this one, and this one. I'm going to show you how I did it. That I'm driving my car for free. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do it. How I still have a cell phone, but I'm not paying the cell phone bills anymore. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do it. But I just wanted to help you realize that if you know if you got rid of those three subscription based, which means there's taxing the rest of your life. Okay, and on a monthly basis, it'd be 660 bucks. Okay, um, and if you do that times 12, let's go ahead and do that times 12 real quick. I had did it, but I closed the application out. It is 7,920 bucks. So every year you're almost spending 8,000 bucks, guys. Okay, because 660 times 12. Okay, that's what you're spending a year, guys. A year on these consumption bills. But in 5 years, okay, so a year equals uh, $7,920, if I'm not mistaken, guys. Yep, that's right. Year. Okay, so in 5 years, just it is this. Now, just to take a look at this, guys. If if you want to buy a $500,000 home, like depends on what state you're in, like in Florida, in Texas, and many other like Las Vegas, a lot of states, $500,000, you're going to be getting yourself a pretty nice looking home, guys. Okay, very very nice. 5% down is 25,000, guys. Okay, so think about that. All right, think about that. Think about that. I'm not even. I don't even advocate going and buying a $500,000 home, but I just want to help you illustrate that, dude. This consumption, not only can you put a down payment on a $500,000 home, okay, with 5% and live in really luxury that an asset that can be a liability, but at the same time can appreciate, depends on how you structure it. Okay, if you're renting out, then it's an income producing asset. If you're living into it, then it's a liability. Okay, but then you can rent the rooms out in Airbnb, and there's other things you can do to make that property an income producing asset. Like, okay, so anyways, I just illustrated to you guys that you don't have to learn a new skill, you don't have to spend any extra time, guys, and not only can you have enough money to buy a $500,000 home, but you will still have extra money left over, because after you do $25,000, okay, what you're gonna have left over is almost $15,000 extra in your pocket, okay? Which can help you pay some of the bills on whatever. But I'm not advocating to go buy 500,000, but I just want to do a simple illustration. Now, let's talk about how I have eliminated these bills, because these bills just make the vendors rich, and I realize it, and it doesn't bring me a lot of comfort in life. For example, by having a cell phone, I was slave to it. I was always checking my emails. People could always reach me. I mean, all these people cold call me and all this stuff, right? It was taken away from, I was Facebooking, I was Instagramming it, not consumption, but always producing. Okay. But it still took a lot of time for me, and it didn't allow me to spend time with my kid. Now, with the cell phone, I've totally got rid of my cell phone. I'm saving $120, $130 a month easily. And at the same time, I still have my cell phone because um, if you guys are interested how I do it, leave a comment. I'll be happy to show you how I do it and the multiple options to do it without it. But what I've done is just I can still use my old phone if I want to. But what I did is I just got the newest iPad 2008 iPad with the pen that you guys see me using, and I just use data or Wi-Fi to make calls if I want through a voice over IP phone. Okay. And this whole thing, instead of me paying $120, it's only costing me 35 bucks. Now, I did it for a month and a half without even having the hotspot. I just did it for when I was home, or when I was anywhere you go in America these days, all stores from like Whole Foods all the way down to, if you ever go to Target or any place you go to, any food places you go to, they're gonna give you Wi-Fi. Okay. Right now I'm sitting at a park and I'm having Wi-Fi, guys. Okay. So a lot of places have Wi-Fi, and I don't have my phone. I disconnected it. It's been a couple of months now. I'm loving it. The first 3 or 4 days I felt like a crackhead. I needed my phone because I was glued to my phone. But then I realized that, hey man, when I was growing up in high school, there was no phones. There was only pagers. I just came in like when I became a senior. So many people grew up without phones. Like, well, we don't need a phone to spend, $120 a month times 12, which is a slavery in itself over 5 years. How much is that? 10 years. How much is that? 20 years. How much is that? Then you say you have your wife, or you have your kids, or you have your, whatever. You add that up, and it's like, wow, man, that could be paying off your house. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's only 120 bucks. But over so many years, plus not it's only 120 bucks, it's enslaving you. Now, some of you guys say, hey, I'm in the sales, I own my own business, I got to have my phone. I totally agree. Me too. I own a business too. But I can show you, if you guys are interested, how to set it up where, if at the max, if you need a phone all the time, then for $35 a month, you can have a hotspot, and you could use voice over IP to make calls and receive calls, just like a regular phone, guys. And you have a phone number. So instead of going paying 120, you're paying 35 bucks, plus you have, fast internet everywhere you go. Now, let's go to the next. How did I get rid of my fuel? Because right now I have Mercedes SL 550, $100,000 car. It sucks a lot of fucking gas. I I was tired of doing that. I was tired of paying all that maintenance. I didn't put the maintenance here. I was tired $500 tires. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I was tired of paying all this maintenance. So, anyways, what I did is, guys, I bought a Leaf, dude. I bought a Nissan Leaf. Okay, it's an EV car, it's an electrical car, and right now all my miles are totally for free. I don't have to put any gas in. I haven't stopped at a gas station for months and months. I've already put thousands of miles on the car. Okay, and some of you guys say, well, your electricity goes up. No, because I don't have even a charger at home. I just charge outside. Like, again, Whole Foods, all these hotels, a lot of malls, a lot of places right next to Starbucks or whatever, they give me charge for free. Okay, and there's a lot of places where there's plugs out there. So like I'm at the park, I can charge it up when I'm at the park. Some states like Colorado, when you go to these events, there's plugs everywhere. That's totally for free. Some states like Nevada and Texas, they're not that EV friendly. But even in a state like that, you can still find plugs totally for free. So right now I have an EV car. Not only do I not pay for gas, I don't even pay for the electricity charger because all these companies provide that totally for free, dude. Now, when I have to sit there to charge it up, okay, it doesn't take that long. And at that time, again, I'm doing something fun, riding my bike, or I'm making these videos for you guys, or just spending time with my family. Because with me eliminating these things, like making almost $40,000 a year, just not learning a new skill without working any extra time, I could spend more time with my family instead of working, dude. And before, I had three businesses. I was making over $1 million a year, multi-millions. And, I worked all the time, and I thought, I had a disease. The disease was I need to consume more. I need to produce more. I need to produce more no matter how much I made. I had one company that was successful. I needed a second company. When I got second, I needed a third company. Third, I needed rental property. So it was a continuous disease for more and more. And I don't think I was the only one. I think our whole society is based on that. And what that happens is that you spend all your life working. I know so many attorneys that are very successful, but they still work 90-hour weeks. I know so many doctors that are very successful. I know so many business owners that have over 100 employees. They just left their $500,000 home to go buy $1 million home, just because they're making more money, or they have two locations now with 200 people on it. So instead of just spending time with their kids and family, you know, they're just spending time to, make their machine bigger and bigger. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to understand that, what do you want? Do you want freedom, or do you want to work all your life? So, I mean, I think at one point I was full to work all the time. Like, I would work all the time plus the weekends, and I loved it. And I was grinding, but I didn't realize, why am I doing all this? Like, what is the purpose of this, right? Just like growth, because that's what everyone else is doing, and to get one location, now they want two, they want five, and five franchise, different business, rental, passive cash flow, rentals, you know, uh, and it made a whole lot of sense to work all the time and just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's kind of like a disease a guy at the gym has. You can never stop getting big. So coming back to the story, I eliminated my whole fuel cost, by going and buying an EV car. Now I don't pay anything in gas. Now I don't pay any cell phone. And I don't pay anything in gas. And for TV, I don't have a TV. I don't have cable. I don't have satellite. I don't have Netflix. I don't have any of that stuff for many, many, many years. For the very longest time, I never watched TV. Okay, so this thing I never had in my life. But these other two bills, okay, um, let's go here and let's change the color. This one I never had in my life because I never watched it. But these other two bills I did have, and I just cut them off. And I'm very happy not to have a cell phone. It's just like so blessing. I don't have to carry a phone. I don't have to every couple of years spend $1,000 buying a newest iPhone. Because, for example, I bought the newest iPad, uh, and I didn't have to pay extra to have a carrier modem on it like Sprint or AT&T. Those cost me a lot less money. And I bought the highest gig, right, the top of the line one, uh, and it was a lot cheaper. And now with this iPad, I can make calls out of it. And, majority of people that I know have iPhones, so I can communicate with them totally for free, text messaging, calling. The other people that don't have iPhones, like they have landlines or Android or some other carrier or AT&T, whatever, then I use voice over IP to make calls. So I couldn't be happier. I don't have to constantly like my iPad would cost so much less than the newest iPhone. Okay, and I used to spend all the new money year after year buying the newest iPhone. Like that's thousands of dollars there. Just paying thousands of dollars in subscription fees, etc. Guys, okay. So those are just a couple ideas I wanted to show you where you guys can make money in America, make almost $40,000 in 5 years with spending zero money, dude. Okay, and without learning any freaking new skills, guys. No new skills, and without spending any extra time. You don't have to do any of that. Now, some of you guys think, hey, I'm not gonna make it without having a cell phone. Try it out, dude. Try it out, man. And some of you guys say, hey, man, it costs me money to go buy an EV car. Yes, it does cost you, but I'm sure if you sell your own car, which you have right now, you get an EV car. They're pretty cheap. Most people don't, you know, like them, whatever, and so you can buy them very cheap. And you could be riding the edge of technology like me and driving for free. It's awesome not to pay hundreds and thousands of dollars in fuel. It's awesome not to kill ourselves, humanity, because we're not really saving Mother Earth. Okay, Mother Earth is going to kill us. So we're really trying to save ourselves, guys. We're not saving Earth. When we say we're trying to save Earth, it makes it seem like we have power and we're bigger than what we are. But we're not. We're just like little ants, dude. The Earth is more powerful than us. The universe is more powerful than us, dude. So we're not saving anyone. The only one we're trying to save is our own self, dude. And if you listen to these stinky bankers, if you listen to these manufacturers, car manufacturers, cars kill millions of people, dude. Year after year, they kill more people than terrorists do. Uh, I mean, look at the pollution they provide. I'm sure you know. I'm sure you've been in a car wreck. I'm sure you know someone that's been in a car wreck. I know people that have been in a car wreck got hurt. My mom's been hurt before. I know people that got in a car wreck and died. Okay, so family members and even friends. So the point of the story is, guys, do you need all the stuff that society tells you you need, or do you want freedom? Okay, and I just showed you how to make money without spending any extra time, without spending any extra money, and without getting any new skills, dude. Just control your consumption. You don't need a freaking cell phone with you all the time. People texting you, calling you. Do you really need that? I mean, think about it. I know you probably do because you're cracked out like I was when I didn't have it the first few days. I was like, ugh! I was getting mad, and it took me like maybe about the first 3 days were very, very hard, and then probably took me about 12, you know, 2 weeks, guys, to like start enjoying.